Hey everyone, I wanted to do a training on imposter syndrome. One, because I think it's something that so many people struggle with, and I've been hearing more and more and more about it lately. So I wanted to put together something pretty raw and real that helps explain a little bit, what imposter syndrome is and why you might be feeling the way that you feel if this is something that you struggle with. So, again, this is for those who struggle with maybe not feeling good enough, or you feel like you're held back in some way and you keep getting knocked down and you're not sure why. So, I put in here F that notion. You think maybe that you came from a poor upbringing, or your physical appearance isn't good enough, or you're too nice, or you're not smart enough, or you're unsupported, or you're over supported. A little bit of everything, right? So there's a lot of things that make us feel certain ways. And I'm going to keep going here. So acknowledge this: you are not alone. Right? So many of us as entrepreneurs, especially, start to get in this mindset that we are all alone and that we're the only ones who are going through this. But please acknowledge this first: you are not alone. If you're feeling, self-conscious, if you're feeling unconfident, if you're feeling broke, if you're feeling like you keep being, again, slapped back, you're not alone. And a lot of times these things happen for you. It's all part of growth. And when you don't know that, it can feel like the world is against you. But once you realize that this is stuff to help you and keep you growing, that's where the magic happens. And honestly, I've been knocked down so many times, and I've, been crying on the floor like, why, and just trust me, I've invested life savings into so many things. And, I've really gotten to a point where I really started paying attention, and I started learning that all these things were happening to me, or I'm sorry, for me, not to me. But I'm going to break this down a little bit more specifically around the imposter syndrome. So one thing that a lot of us do is self-sabotage. We create walls and repetitive behavior. And until you can figure out what is causing this, you're going to keep repeating it. So, like I said, the cycle is going to continue, right? It's going to keep continuing until you reflect, you digest, and you let it go. It's going to take everything inside of you to really make this shift, right? You keep hitting a wall, you keep feeling overwhelmed, you keep having roadblocks, things keep happening. Another bill or another thing is coming up. The cycle is going to keep continuing. So let's dive a little deeper. And, the first one. So let's say you grew up, with a poor money mindset, or you have a poor money mindset, and you grew up, maybe everything wasn't handed to you and you didn't have a lot of things. So a lot of times when imposter syndrome from this sets in is, I came from poor, I am poor, this is who I am. When they find out that I was poor, they will be upset. They'll find out who I really am. A poor money mindset comes with that. You struggle on and off with money. You have trouble making it. And when you do, you have trouble keeping it. You have trouble talking about money. Just money is something that you don't want to even talk about. And in entrepreneurship, guess what? You got to change that mindset, because money's good. Money's great. And if you're really struggling, one tip I can give you is read the book, The Science of Getting Rich. The book changed my mindset. I mean, it actually, Jen Sincero created a spinoff of that called You're a Badass at Making Money. And it's all about how you need to shift your money mindset and be open to receiving money. And guess what? Like, who you are and where you came from, that does not define you. We're not one set thing or one set person. So getting out of that, you're stuck in a box, or feeling like you're not good enough, or you're feeling like there's no way you can make money and you're always going to be put back into this box, knock it off. Because a lot of times this is you having these thoughts and feelings, and that's what is basically bringing those things to fruition. The other thing you say to yourself sometimes is, I don't deserve success. You struggle with the fact that you feel like you don't deserve success. So you limit yourself. You prevent yourself from actually achieving success. Well, guess what? You do deserve success. And no one's going to care about your life or you as much as you do. So until you actually feel like you deserve success and you deserve to be treated and to earn the money that you deserve, you're not going to. So remember that, right? You do deserve success. And stop limiting yourself. And just to briefly touch on this, this is something that I struggled with for a really long time. And I can't say it's something that I don't still struggle with, but it's something that I'm super aware of. I used to think in my job, because for many years I did work as a leader in the corporate world, and I managed hundreds of team members and executives. And at times I felt like, oh my goodness, if they knew where I came from, or if they knew who I was, I felt like such an imposter. And why me? But guess what? I am capable, right? I am a leader. I do have the skills. I do have the experience. And you know what? It's made me that much better and made me that much more resilient and adaptable. So do not think of these things as your weaknesses. Just think about how much you've overcome to get you to where you are. It's all part of your story. So I guess I kind of already delved down this. I forgot I made a slide for explaining it. So to get, into the reflection point is, think about this, right? Like, you are strong. This is who I am. When they learn my story, they will respect me more. It is unlimited to what I can do, right? Think about how great money is. It's okay to want it. It's not a dirty thing. So many people treat it like it's a dirty thing. Money is amazing. You can do great things with money. Money can help you live the life of your dreams and do amazing things for others. Think about the last time you were able to really get an amazing gift for someone. Think about the things that you can do with time freedom, with your family, with your friends, when you have the money to do it. Money is great. So the last thing is, I deserve success. So you deserve success, maybe even more than the next person. Your journey has not been easy. And by following through with what you set out to do, you're creating your own path, your own destiny, and your own success. And guess what? You deserve it. So on this actual presentation that you guys are going to have a copy of, if you're part of the membership, you're going to be able to click on these little doors and you can actually listen to interactive things. So there's a video, I believe, I have a link in there that directs you straight to a video that's going to help you reflect on this. And then there's a podcast episode as well. So next in this series is, I'm not physically attractive enough. Is this you? Right? You wilt like a flower in the hot sun when beautiful people come around. You lack confidence in who you are because of how you look. The real you is hiding deep down inside. You believe that your physical appearance equals your self-worth. You believe that you will only be so successful because of how you look. You stay out of the spotlight and you don't share your story for fear of judgment and negativity. Well, guess what? It's not all about looks. Some of the most brilliant, most special and wonderful people are considered not really attractive. Your success is not reliant on your physical appearance. And then just to talk about that, my physical appearance does not equal my self-worth. So be confident. Your appearance does not equal your self-worth. Stop letting what others think weigh so heavily on how you feel about yourself. I cannot stress this enough. For a very long time, and this is something that, again, it's something that I struggle with, but I'm working on, and I've worked on so much, is I thought that my worth was always going to be how I looked. I always felt like I had to look a certain way. I didn't want people to see me when I didn't have makeup. I mean, I'm still struggling with this. But this is something that so many people feel, and a lot of women especially, that you feel like if you don't look perfect or you don't look a certain way, there's no way that you can't do what it is that you set out to do or that you dream. It's so not true, and I just wanted to share this one story. It was, I actually had a friend who I had just gotten out of a really long relationship, and I just had that mentality that I just didn't want to date. I was so exhausted and tired, and I just started my business. So I was really starting from the ground up from a very vulnerable place. And I felt unattractive. I felt very insecure. I felt where I was from a monetary and everything standpoint. I just felt so weak and just, I felt rough. So anyway, this person told me that, you know what, if there's one thing that you can work on for the rest of the year and one thing only that will make you unstoppable, they said, work on your confidence. Your confidence in the way that you portray yourself will draw people to you or it will repel people from you. So they basically just told me, work on confidence and you're unstoppable. So what I did is, I really took that to heart. And he gave an example of, he actually said in the movie Pitch Perfect, there's that one girl. And if you guys have actually seen the movie, there's this one really funny girl who's in there. She's got the Australian accent and she's kind of bigger and she kind of, jokes around with the other girls. I think she calls herself Fat Amy. So anyway, that's not very great, but he said that, his normal type of women are women who are confident in themselves. And he said, I'm not even kidding you, but just how she portrays herself in that movie and how confident she is with who she is and what she is attractive. And it just really hit me hard because I'm like, wow, that goes against everything that I was thinking. Like, I just thought you had to be perfect and you had to have long blonde hair and you had to have this and you had to have that. And it's like, no, you got to just own who you are, be confident. And guess what? It's not all about physical appearance. So the next thing is you're too nice. So let's say you've been bullied. Some meanie has picked you as an easy target because you're so darn nice and you wouldn't dream of fighting back. You feel confused. You've been told you're too nice. Now you don't know how the heck to act. You feel weird. You sometimes have trouble making friends because all they want to do is talk smack, but that's just not your thing. Well, guess what? You're nice. You've been bullied, but most of the time you need to realize that bullies do their thing because they're lacking attention, they're jealous, or know that the nice person is easy manipulated and won't fight back. Bullying behavior can also stem from their own lack of attention at home. You might feel confused. Well, own your niceness. Next time you've received feedback that you're too nice, own it. In fact, this was, again, advice that was told to me that, my whole life I was told, oh, you're too nice, you're too nice, you're too nice, you're too nice. There's a difference between being too nice and then also being confident and nice. It's such a great combination to have because when you're confident in who you are and what you offer and you're nice at the same time and you're kind, whew, that's pretty awesome. But next time someone tells you you're too nice, you can own it. Right? I am nice. And it's one of my favorite things about me. You feel weird. So sometimes you have trouble making friends because all they want to do is talk smack, but that's just not your thing. Well, guess what? That's okay. You don't have to participate in that. And honestly, a lot of times people do that because they struggle with how to connect with others as well. So next time someone's picking on someone else or they're making comments or being negative, you don't have to participate. In fact, you can even shut it down or you can walk away. So let's say you're, at the lunch table or you're somewhere, I don't know, say you're by the water cooler having a conversation. Well, guess what? This person starts saying mean things about someone else. Counteract it with something nice. Well, it was nice that they did this or nice that they did that. Just keep countering it with something nice because you do not need to participate in that just to connect with others. So next, feeling I am not smart enough. Let's say you got crappy grades or pooey grades or have a learning disorder. I put this on there because it's so important and it really kind of hits close to home. I mean, you might feel that because you scored low in school, that you're not capable of achieving success. Maybe your teacher did not believe in you. You were told you had a problem. The reason why this hits so close to home is I do have, someone very close to me that was told, you have a problem, you have a learning disorder, and, you're not going to be able to do certain things. And it was exactly the opposite of what happened for that person. That person actually ended up graduating with multiple degrees from college and is a brilliant person with a job that they love. So I want to elaborate on this a little more. And again, if you're in the membership site, you'll have interaction where you can watch the videos of a couple amazing YouTube videos. But you gotta not allow other people's opinion of you and what you're capable of become your reality. And I love that quote by Les Brown, which is exactly that. You have greatness within you. Les Brown is someone who is so inspirational to me because he was told that he was educational. I forget what they called it, but he was mentally retarded. And uh, it's, I mean, again, like somebody telling you that you have like an, like such a problem and that it's going to affect you and your whole life and everything that you do. Gosh, what that makes you feel like, you know? And Les Brown said that he actually had a teacher that said, "Hey, like, come up here and write this on the board." And he said, "No, I'm sorry. I have a learning disability and I can't do that." And the teacher said, "Get up here and write this, and don't you ever let someone else's opinion of you become your reality." And Les Brown went up and he wrote it and he was absolutely fine. And from then on out, he stopped letting other people create his reality. And I think so many other people need to hear that as well. The last thing I want to touch on is my parents cared too much or too little, right? I think, and this goes for so many people, I was fortunate to have, parents that cared very much for me. But, there might have been certain things that might not have been as much or as little. But again, when we go through life and, as we get older, I know it's kind of a thing that people always talk about is that usually in therapy, it's like, oh my gosh, what did your parents do to you? And what kinds of things happened. And again, this is just, I can't say anything about how anyone else was raised or how your parents treated you, because I know that there are so many different extremes, right? There's so many scary, sad stories, and then there are so many wonderful and amazing stories. But this is just looking at, like I said, a very bird's eye view of a very simple, my parents cared too much or cared too little. So let's say they didn't care what you did. You gave up caring about things because your parents didn't care anyway. You lost your hopes and ambitions because of why. Or maybe they cared too much. You felt suffocated at times. They wanted things for you didn't really want for yourself. You go through life second guessing everything because you're not sure what you want and you're codependent. Well, let me go back to that well, actually I can go back to that one, but moral of the story there is stop letting other people's feelings about you or towards you define how you go forward in your life. So whether your parents cared too much, they cared too little, guess what? It's time to draw the line right now and create the life that you want to live on your terms and start reaching for your dreams. Because as I said before, and even Rachel Hollis says this in one of her books, she said, no one is going to care about you and your life as much as you do. So if you're really ready for a change, or you're ready to make a difference, you're ready to be confident and step up and really take charge, you can do that. And only you can do that.